So I recently platinumed the Assassin's Creed Ezio trilogy and found that fun. So I figured, why not do another game in the Assassin's Creed franchise? Well, enter Assassin's Creed 3 Remastered. Now this version has 55 trophies, and I got my first trophy, Rude Awakening, after completing the first mission, where we get a refresher course on the controls before re-entering the Animus. Rude Awakening, first trophy. The first mission also gave us our first optional objective. Almost every mission in this game has at least one optional objective. And for the trophy Perfectionist, you need to complete all the optional objectives in the main missions. Some of these did take me a few tries, like the one in the last mission for sequence 2, where you need to avoid firing line damage. Now reloading the checkpoint in this section will force you to go through a tutorial on how to actually avoid firing line damage. And after reloading here a few times, I accidentally got this trophy. Oh, what's Fiyi no Gobayi? I tried. I don't know if I said that right. What was that for though? Block a firing line 5 times by using a human shield. Oh, cool. I have no idea why I even tried to pronounce that. But after finally managing to avoid firing line damage, we find and kill Silas Thatcher.
I made a promise to you, Silas. One I intend to keep.
Damn! To complete sequence 2. Mystery Guest. Complete sequence 1 and 2. In sequence 3, we chase down and assassinate Edward Braddock. Then we find out who we've really been playing as.
You are a Templar.
Wait, so we're playing as a Templar right
May
now?
the Father of Understanding guide us.
How do you like them apples? I like that trophy name. But this marks a significant change in the story, because from sequence 4, we stop playing as Haytham and start playing as his son, Connor. And while playing as Connor, we roleplay as an eagle and go on a spiritual journey. Heroes are born. Was that sequence 4? Yeah, I believe it was sequence 4. Anyway, after that, I continued playing through the story, unlocking a few trophies related to the story while completing all the optional objectives in the missions. It wasn't until the last mission in sequence 10 that I got a non-story trophy, and that trophy was Circus Act, which is for killing 15 guards with a single cannon shot. Oh, I got that out of the way immediately. Oh, Circus Act. What's that? Kill 15 guards with a single cannon shot. Then shortly after unlocking that trophy, I completed sequence 10 and moved on to sequence 11, which ends with a duel against our father. It's over. Difficult end. That definitely was a brutal consequence. Yeah, it was. But now it's time for sequence 12, where we chase down and shoot Charles Lee. However, he still manages to escape. But since that was the last mission with optional objectives, I finally get the trophy Perfectionist. That's for 100% full sync. Sweet. Now we can't let things end there. So we track down Lee again, and this time, finally put an end to things. Ooh. The sum of truth. After that, I completed the rest of the game, watched the credits roll, and then finished all the epilogue missions to earn the final main story related trophy. Finn! Guess that's the end. I enjoyed this. Alright, with the main story done, I think it's time I told you about the trophy Completionist, which is for obtaining full 100% completion of the game. At this point, I was at 49%, practically halfway there. But there was still a lot to do. I started by collecting all the Peg Leg trinkets, which I then gave to Peg Leg to get access to all his missions, with the first one being Fort Walker, where we infiltrate Fort Walker and find the first piece of Captain Kidd's treasure map. Then, after leaving a parting gift, I escaped to complete the mission. That was cool. Bring down the house, Jutsu. Wait, no, just bring down the house. After collecting every piece of Captain Kidd's treasure map, we analyze it and discover that the treasure is on Oak Island. So, we travel to Oak Island, where we solve a riddle, kill some wolves, albeit with some difficulty, and explore a cavern where we finally find Captain Kidd's treasure.
What the devil?
I do not know how it works, but I now understand why Kidd valued it so.
Cool. Wonder if we can actually use that. Shard of Eden. Kid gloves. The next trophy, House Party, is for recruiting a character to your homestead and seeing them settled. To see a character settled, you need to complete their first mission. Oh, I got a trophy for that. House Party. And for recruiting and seeing every possible homestead member settled, you get a complete set. Speaking of complete, in order to get 100%, you need to complete all the homestead missions. And doing this is also necessary for the trophy, An Extraordinary Man, which you get by filling out the encyclopedia of the common man. You fill this by scanning every type of homestead member while they are doing specific activities, and they all need 3 different activities recorded. There is An Extraordinary Man. Alright, so after getting that trophy, I decided to take a break from the 100% and instead start the Tyranny of King Washington DLC. There are 3 episodes in this, and naturally, I started with episode 1 and got my first trophy during the second mission after receiving an unexpected gift. Uniquely familiar, receiving an unexpected gift. The Hidden Blades. Do you know what else was unexpected? The new abilities you gain in this DLC. The abilities are my favorite things about this DLC, and in the third mission, we gain the Wolf Cloak ability. Then the following mission introduces us to the Wolf Pack ability, and using this one for the first time actually got me a trophy. Hey, this is wild.
I see that I was right. Your sky journey.
Pun intended. Eyewitness. What's that? Witness a predator killing an enemy. Okay, so we've just witnessed the predator killing an enemy. Let's now witness how using the Wolf Cloak ability earned me a trophy. Oh, a wolf in sheep's clothing. Kill 25 enemies while staying cloaked. Cool. The Wolf Cloak ability was also the key in helping me complete the final mission for episode 1, where we infiltrate a fort and assassinate Benedict Arnold. West Point payback. Oh my days.
Got you.
He may have got us there, but I've still got one more trophy left for episode 1. And that trophy is Frontiersman, which is for obtaining 100% completion in episode 1. This 100% is nowhere near as long as the main games. In fact, all I had to do was complete 5 attack convoy missions, 5 help the hungry missions, 5 wolf rescue missions, and finally collect all 3 lucid memory artifacts. And that's 100% Frontiersman. Alright, that's every trophy for episode 1. So let's move on to episode 2, where we gain my favorite ability, the Eagle Flight. And the trophy Frequent Flyer is for traveling 1 kilometer while using it. Frequent Flyer. Now this episode ends with us having to kill Putnam, and you get the trophy Blindsided for doing so. I also made sure to be more efficient during this episode, meaning I did everything else required for the 100% before starting the final mission, which meant I got the 100% trophy right after watching the last cutscene. The new Tea Party. And with episode 2 done, it was time for episode 3, where we get the Bear Might ability. And for the trophy Aftershock, you need to kill 125 enemies using it.
Firing from above. Take them out.
Aftershock, that's 125 Bear Might kills. The next trophy, First in the Hearts, is for defeating the final boss, George Washington. And this boss fight has us utilize the Wolf Cloak, Eagle Flight, and Bear Might abilities. First in the Hearts, Washington is done. So, remember how efficient I was with getting 100% in episode 2? Yeah, that was not the case for this episode, because I still had to replay the first mission again to complete all the optional objectives and finish 3 defend civilian missions. Okay, that was it. If I can make it there. Cool, the DLC is finished. Yeah, and with the DLC done, I jumped back into the main game, where I got the trophy Man of the People for liberating all districts in Boston or New York. Man of the People, New York has been liberated. And for the 100%, Boston has to be done too. But before doing that, I wanted to knock out all the combat related trophies I had left. starting with the trophy Spit Roast, which is for performing a double assassination using a musket. I then put the musket down to get the trophy Prince of Thieves, which you earn by looting an attack convoy without killing any of its guards. Prince of Thieves! Beat them all, knocked them all out, no kills. But now it's time to kill some guards, because to get the trophy Jaeger Bomb, you have to kill 10 Jaegers before losing your notoriety. And these guys only appear when you reach level 3 notoriety. Jaeger Bomb! Is it Jaeger or Jaeger? I don't know. Here's what I know though. The last combat trophy I needed was Predator, and you get that by hanging 5 enemies with rope darts. Predator! Hung 5 enemies with the rope dart. Now that I've knocked out all the combat trophies, it was time to work on getting 100% again. I'm at 77% right now, but there was still much to do. Like, liberating all districts in Boston, liberating every fort, completing every courier mission, finding every page for Ben Franklin's almanacs, finishing every assassination contract, finding all the feathers, unlocking all the New York Underground fast travel points and all the Boston Underground fast travel points, completing every delivery request, and getting every trainee to reach the max level. Now, saying all that took me about 20 seconds, but it actually took me over 5 hours to do all that, which is why I decided to take a short break from the 100% to get this trophy, which I can't pronounce, for selling undamaged animal pelts to each general store. And there's the trophy. I'm not going to try and pronounce that. Yeah, and I'm still not going to. But here's one I can pronounce, Monopoly Man. And you get that by sending a convoy to Boston, New York, and the frontier. Monopoly Man. Alright, short break over. Let's get back to the 100%. So, I finished every task for the Hunting Society, fully upgraded my ship, and completed all the naval missions, which actually got me the trophy all washed up. That's every naval mission fully completed. There are also 12 privateer contract missions to complete. Now, I got through most of the optional objectives in these missions swimmingly, but I did have some trouble with the one for the Seawolves mission, which requires you to complete the contract with less than 4 allied casualties. I'm seriously convinced that these allies intentionally try to sabotage you by consistently getting themselves destroyed, and not just by the enemy fleet. Yeah, it took me about an hour before I finally had an attempt where the allies surprisingly didn't get destroyed by the enemies. They instead just got destroyed by me. But despite their best efforts to see me reload the checkpoint again, luck was on my side this time. Done. Let's go. This was crazy. Yes, it was. And another one that was crazy was the Giant and the Storm mission's optional objective, to sink all 3 ships by firing on their powder stores. Because trying to expose the powder stores without accidentally destroying the ships was a real challenge. But once I learned how important finding the right angle was, it became smooth sailing. Yes! Finally! This mission was also my final privateer contract mission, so completing it earned me a trophy for finishing all 12. Okay, after doing all of that, I'm now at 98%, so not too long left. All I had to do was craft every Ben Franklin invention, finish every frontiersman task, all the brawler tasks, and finally, complete all tasks for the Thieves Club. That's it! Completionist, 100% synchronization. That leaves just one more trophy, and that trophy is Original Gamer. And you get this trophy by winning a game of Bows, Morris, and Fanarona on the homestead. With Bows, you win by getting your bows closest to the smaller bowl. And I already had experience playing this game because I used it to win 500 in games for my last task for the Thieves Club. But that particular opponent was on beginner difficulty, and to get this trophy, you need to win against Terry behind the inn, who is on intermediate. The difficulty increase made things slightly harder, but that previous experience was enough to circumvent that.
I hope we play again soon.
I will not be playing you again soon. done. Now we move on to Morris, where the goal is to leave the opponent with less than 3 pieces or block all their possible moves. And you have to win this one on expert, which made things a bit more challenging. But 30 minutes of trial and error was enough to see me get good enough to win this one. Yes! With Bose and Morris down, the only game left is Panorama. And to win this game, you need to capture all of the opponent's pieces. Like Morris, you have to play this on expert. But the difference between this game and Morris is that the AI in this game is ridiculous. I can't tell you how many times I got to the end game where I had many more pieces than my opponent, only to make the wrong moves and lose. I really had to think about all the possible outcomes that could be made from each move I made. And I've never concentrated so hard on a mini game before. But that heavy concentration paid off because I eventually started making the right moves, which led to me finally being able to say that victory is mine.
I am grateful for the contest.
Let's go. Come on. Original gamer and master assassin. So that's the platinum for Assassin's Creed 3. Ubisoft says it took me around 50 hours.